Hi everyone, Phil from Tech for Techs here. Today we're going to be looking at this from Saiz. It's a A6 gaming headset, and as you can see it looks pretty nice. They do have a pink version as well. This is the black and red version. The recommended retail price of this is roughly around about $32.99. We do have links in the description below, so make sure you go and click on those and it will take you to the cheapest price we've managed to find online in your country. Okay, as you can see, we've got this Saiz gaming headset. It's the A6, grow together with gamers. Doesn't say much information on the front about it, so it's not the best box really for having in a retail shop or anything like that, because it doesn't say anything about it being 7.1 surround sound stereo. I'm not sure how you get 7.1 surround sound stereo. Maybe they mean it's virtual 7.1 surround sound and stereo, but it doesn't say that in the front of the box. I would have thought that'd be nice to actually tell people, and I always like to know on the front of boxes if it's USB or basically if it's using a 3.5mm jack to connect to the PC. So let's have a look at the rest of the box. On the side, it's basically saying Saiz Digital Technology, gives you the address and everything like that. It just says 7.1 surround effect. So again, that's virtual surround sound. On the back, it says gaming headset, A6 headband. You've got suspension, headband. You've got microphone, flexible microphone with mute, indicator light, comfortable earmuff with soft leather. You've got multifunctional inline remote as well, and you've got LED lighting, cool orange breathing lighting. So it's not RGB or anything like that. I do know they do a pink model of this, it basically, instead of looking black and orange, it looks more pink. So it gives you a rough idea, and then you've got all your different languages there. The other sides don't give you much. Top doesn't really tell you much. Bottom does give you a little bit of specifications there. So it's got 40mm in there by the looks of it. Frequency range between 20 and 20,000. Cable length is approximately 2.2 meter. So yeah, so it is a USB. Okay, so it does give you a little bit of information, but you have to hunt it down on the bottom of the box. Let's open it up and see what we've got. Okay, so what do we have inside the box? Well, let's start off with the smallest item first. We've got a couple of stickers there you can stick on the side of your PC or whatever if you really wanted to. You've also got operation manual there, which tells you how to use it. Let's have a look. You've got a guarantee on there, safety guidelines and so forth. It does say about please download driver from saiz.gg/driver. And then it tells you which all the bits are. So you've got headband, ear cup, earmuff, microphone, flexible mic tube, headset cable, volume knob, microphone, mute switch, lighting mode switch, and USB plug. So that's good. And it gives you a few links and different things about it there, which you probably never use. Doesn't really say what you need the driver for, because generally headsets what are USB are usually plug and play. But it probably gives you a few different settings for like the 7.1 surround sound, which in a lot of times I never hear the difference between the virtual 7.1 and normal, because if there's only one speaker, it's quite hard to send out signals from different angles. I don't know how they actually do it, but to be honest, I've never really noticed the difference. Sometimes I've noticed tones and basses sound a little bit different, but it doesn't actually seem to affect where the sound seems to be coming from. But let's have a closer look at the device itself. So you've got a rubberized cable. Let's start off with that. It is roughly 2.2 meters long. It's not braided. It is USB, so again, if you want to plug it into your PC or whatever, you use your USB port, laptop or whatever. Again, it's not going to work in anything other what doesn't take a USB port, basically. So you just plug it in. You can hear my PC's gone ping, ping, ping. And there's the headset itself. Let's have a look at the inline controller first. So you've got your inline controller, you've got your volume up and down. It does seem a little yeah, a little bit loose and wobbly and cheap is probably the best way of putting it, the volume control. You've got your light. Okay, light options are, okay, it looks like breathe, off, and on, and breathe. So you've basically got 3 options for that. The top one is for muting your microphone on and off, depending on what you prefer. So that's obviously up to you. The rest of the cable, again, is rubberized, no braiding there. So let's have a look at the headset. First thing I notice is this orange light on the end of the microphone. Not sure if that's going to be annoying or not. Let me just put it on. Yeah, I can see that out the corner of my eye. So personally, there doesn't seem to be any form of pop filter, which is usually, let me just double check the packaging. No, not in there. So there's no way of putting, yeah, there's no pop filter. That's usually a little bit of foam that goes over the end or anything like that. So basically, if you don't like that orange light, you've got to turn the LED lights off on the headset. Otherwise, it's going to be annoying because I can see that thing shining, and that's in this bright room with almost studio lights. If you're obviously in a dark room, that's going to be very bright. I don't like the idea of these lights at the end unless you have an option of turning that light off, which you can, but it means you've got to turn the rest of the lights off, which then defeats the object of it glowing and so forth. But then again, who's going to see it glowing unless you're doing streaming or something along that lines? So let's have a closer look. Again, it's a flexible mic, so you can pretty much bend it sort of how you want. It does sort of flex back in front of you to a certain degree, so you can't just push it to one side. As we said, the ear cups do light up. They've got this sort of honeycomb effect on the sides, which light up. The inner ears have got that effect as well, but there's no LED. It's just like an orange and black mesh in there. The cups are very, very soft, so they should be nice to wear. The headband as well is quite soft. Actually, the top part of it is softer than the bit you're going to put over the top of your head, which seems more padded. The sides go in one big loop, so that will support it, and then you've got the adjustability there. There's nothing to adjust or anything, so it's like an auto fit, so it's one size fits all, so you should be fine. Otherwise, there's not a huge amount to see on there. Doesn't seem to be any controls on the headset itself. It's all on the controller. I'm just going to put this on my head just to see how it feels. I've got quite a big head, all honesty, yeah I do, and it feels comfortable, the ears feel comfortable. The only bit what does, I can feel pressing on the top of my head is this bit here, which basically goes on the top of your head. I can feel it pushing down on my head. It's possibly because I've got a slightly bigger head than most people, but we'll also try this with my wife, who's definitely got a smaller head than me, and just see exactly if it fits her and so forth, and we'll check the sound quality, and we'll do a microphone test as well in a few minutes as well, so you can actually see, well, should I say, hear what the microphone sounds like. I'm now currently using the microphone built into the headset on the Sage A6 headset, and you can hear what it sounds like, so you get a better idea than I will, but from what I've played back, it doesn't sound too bad. I'm now going to go over onto my studio mic so you can hear the difference. Right, as you could hear from that clip, the microphone doesn't actually sound too bad. It sounds pretty good, to be honest, for a microphone built into a headset. Might not have as much depth as a studio mic, but saying that, it should be more than adequate for using something like Discord or any other online gaming service where you need to use a microphone. Right, let's move on to the fit. For a larger head, it seems to fit okay. It does give a little bit pressure on the top of your head where the band does go across, but on a smaller head, let's say medium sized to smaller, it does slip a bit. It's not very good. It's not 100% fit, so it doesn't seem to like get tight enough against the head is probably the best way of putting it, and there's not much you can do to adjust that. The mic light, or as in the light, what's on the end of the microphone is annoying because there's no sock on there. So you can see this orange light basically in the corner of your eye all the time. You've got the headset on, which can be quite annoying. Even though this headset is not designed for music, it's more for gaming, music does sound quite flat and soulless. It's not the best, in all honesty. It's just doesn't have that depth there, which is pretty unfortunate. But that also goes across into games, because a lot of games do have music in them, and the music sounds a little bit flat. In a game, they do sound pretty good. There isn't a huge amount of bass though, but it does sound pretty good. Does sound, you can hear little footsteps coming around and stuff like that, so it's not a problem there. Again, with the microphone on top, it makes it pretty good for gaming, but for using it for anything else, it does seem to be a little bit flat. Sound quality is not the best. It may be okay on using on something like a Zoom call or something along that lines, but again, that little yellow light on the microphone can get quite annoying. Yes, you can turn the lighting off on this, but then it defeats the object of having lighting on it in the first place.